In 2024, I started this company called Mayhem Games so that I could make board and card games for Asian Americans.
You're like a creative entrepreneur with multiple avenues of creative things. What made you even start to see that I want to do different ventures and not just one thing?
For a long time, I was writing comedy and I didn't realize it. It wasn't until I started, created Falk with my collaborators that I realized that I named that I do comedy. And I realized that comedy has actually been a really powerful way to connect with folks.
You have a really great presence with Falk, and your personal presence is really good. And then when it comes to Mayhem, I feel like it's missing that attitude.
Right now, in this present moment, Mayhem Games and Mei Li Yang are really connected. In the future, when I have other games down the pipeline, it doesn't have to be me. When I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, Asian Americans, and even early 2000s, Asian Americans were not really present. Or if we showed up, we were always the sidekick or the bad guy. We were never the main character.
You have this baby here.
Yeah.
Does it have its own voice?
Mm-hmm.
And you help it? Or does it kind of sound like you?
Mm-hmm.
My advice
Yeah.
is to always make it sound like you, because I believe
Always make it sound like you?
Yes, because I believe that any brand or any business you do
Mm-hmm.
is just an extension
Mm-hmm.
of who you are.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome to Beyond the Logo podcast. Today we have our guest May coming to talk about her game Clapback and also a little bit about her branding, her story. So let's learn a little bit more about May and get into it. May,
Mhm.
I want to share, I think the first time I found Falk,
Yeah.
Fawk, was
Yes.
at a Vietnamese or Lao event at this brewery by university. And
Oh.
you had your crew come up to do your set there.
Mm.
And they also had a lineup of like Asian artists. One of
Mhm.
them was a manga artist. He was a
Oh, okay.
drawer. And then your team kind of ended the last thing.
Mm.
I think that's when I first found out where you
Okay.
guys were. I mean, that's a long time ago. I forgot the organization that ran it, but they are pretty prominent on next to like a Cal and Ada and two.
Mhm.
Forgot the name.
It probably says I performed at a lot of places. I'm like, which one are you talking
Yeah.
about? But thank you
might
for
not been-
remembering.
I think it's either you or your team there, but I do know
Yeah.
it was just like all Hmong women, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this is great. And I know because you guys had some political bits in there too,
Mhm.
which is the whole set for you guys, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this is brilliant.
Mhm.
But it was a long time ago. It was when I was still in college, back in like 2018.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so
Yes.
it's well
Yes. Yes.
back.
Okay. Yes. We were doing a bunch of cabarets. Actually, we started doing cabarets around 2017.
Oh, okay.
Indigenous roots on the east side of St. Paul.
Uh-huh.
But we've also hopped around to different locations.
Yes,
So
yeah.
you probably saw it as us at one of the pop-ups.
Yeah, probably then. I thought
Yeah.
it was great. I thought it was hilarious. I liked
Uh-huh.
it, and I was like, oh my god, like my Hmong sisters up there.
Mhm.
Because it was my first event where it was a Hmong organized. It was, I think, Vietnamese and Lao organized,
Mhm.
and then seeing you guys represent was really, really cool too.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on your show.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for being here.
Mhm.
I want to know a little bit about you, May. Tell me a little bit about you, how you came up with this game. The first
Yeah.
time I saw this was at HND that happened
Okay.
in 2025. You guys
Yep.
were tabling. And I was curious, oh my God, what is this? These cards are funny, it's hilarious,
Mhm.
and full circle, me meeting you here in front of this table.
Yeah,
too.
like about a year later, right? A little bit over a year. So my, I'm gonna say my full name, and I say this because just in the last 2 days, there are people who apparently they have consumed my work. They just didn't know it was me.
Okay.
So people always get confused. My first name is May. Lee is my my maiden name. Gong Hong Lee, and
Mhm.
Yang is my husband's last name. He's also a Hmong person, not Chinese. But anyway, I do a couple things. I'm a playwright, poet, performance artist, comedian, and co-founder of Funny Asian Women Collective, Falk, as you mentioned. Emerging filmmaker. My husband and I have a YouTube series called Hmong Organization, which is like a mockumentary web show about Hmong people at a dysfunctional nonprofit.
Mhm.
And and also educator. So I teach creative writing and like Asian American studies. In 2024, I started this company called Mayhem Games so that I could make board and card games for Asian Americans.
Mm-hmm.
And this is connected to my work doing theater, right?
Mhm.
I've been doing theater since like well, I was gonna say 2009, but that's not true. I've been doing theater since I was 18, but I was acting in someone else's work. I started publicly showing my artwork as a playwright and performer in 2007, 2008. But the problem with theater is that, and like a comedy, is that people don't show up. If people come to your show, great. If they don't, it's gone. And even if you watch it later, it's not the same as the live performance.
Yeah.
And so, or people would book me for gigs, but they need me to physically be there. So they might not be able to afford me sometime. So I wanted a product kind of like a book that could just stand on its own, but would still really be about fun and also represent Asian Americans. So I thought, a board game company. I want to do something fun, right?
So then when you talk about the board game company,
Yeah.
I want to take a step back because
Yes.
you do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You're like a creative entrepreneur with multiple avenues of creative things. Playwright, you're the lead of Falk, and you have this. What made you even start to see that I want to do different ventures and not just one thing?
Yeah. I think that I, for a long time, I was writing comedy and I didn't realize it. So when I was 25, Psycho Lee, who's a spoken word artist and activist, recruited me to join his spoken word group. And one of the things he later told me was that he always put me in between, we have 10 members. He always put me in between the people who had really dark stuff. So he was trying to curate me so that I would let the audience breathe a little bit. Or I would perform and people were like, oh, it's really funny. And then I'm like, it wasn't until I started, Creative Falk with my collaborators that I realized that I named that I do comedy. And I realized that comedy has actually been a really powerful way to connect with folks. But I think Clapbacks, well, this is our first game. When I wanted to start a board game company, I was thinking about my nieces and nephews. I have over 100 nieces and nephews.
Wow.
I mean,
big family.
Yeah, I'm okay. Some of them are at my direct line. Some of them are married into our family, spouses.
Of course.
And I have nieces and nephews who are kids. So anyway, so the number is huge. But I've been thinking about what it means to be the auntie of 3 generations of nieces and nephews. And originally, I wanted to create a board game that talked about the Hmong refugee experience, right? 1975, what happens when Hmong people had to cross to freedom across the river. I still want to make that game, but it requires so much more work and money and time. And so I thought I would start off with something I could see very clearly in my head, which was Clapback.
Okay.
Because, and it's connected to my comedy group, Falk, too. Because in 2017, we often did these Clapback workshops where we would use comedy and improv to help Asian women stand up to microaggressions. Because Asian women were experiencing a lot of microaggressions at work and at home. And you want to stand up for yourself, but you also don't want to get fired, canceled, or beaten up, right? Because it's real. A guy hits on you at a club and you say no, they might do something violent. And so we were like, let's use comedy. And so this is a gamification of that workshop.
How long did it take you to produce this?
Less than a year.
Year.
But that's because we already had done the workshops. And so I already understood the game. So I already understood the relationship between microaggressions and comedy. And the gameplay is, I always tell people it's really similar to something like Apples to Apples or Cards Against Humanity. I don't think that's, people are like, are you okay saying that? I'm like, let's acknowledge the lineage from where we came from, right?
It's not a new
It's
invention.
not a new idea. There's so many of these things, right? So I understood the gameplay really easily, but it was a matter of what is my company's particular lens, right? And 1, we center Asian Americans. 2, it's 18 plus, where there's some very nice things, and then that we say that there's clapbacks you can use in a professional setting, and then there are also things you can say to people at a club, right? So creating the game, I already, I don't know, this is not maybe good and bad advice for people. I felt like I understood the game already really well, but I think we started the process of really making it in March of 2023.
Okay.
And then it went into production summer of 2023. That's pretty fast.
Yeah, that's pretty fast. So when I did take a look at some of the cards and your online presence of some of the cards and the funny statements and clapbacks in it, how many how long was a session for you and your team, or if it's just you, to
Mhm.
sit down and be like, I need to write 50 cards or 100
Yeah.
cards? Like,
Mhm.
how was that brainstorming?
Yeah.
And what efforts did it take for you guys to find like this is the one that's gonna go on the card?
So it went through a couple iterations. Like we had a retreat, well, to do other FOC business.
Yeah.
But then this was part of I'm like, give me a day to work on this.
Yeah.
So I already knew that we needed to write microaggressions that Asian people experience at home, in the workplace, and then somewhere out in the universe. I knew that we also needed to so we categorized them, right? And then we wrote the microaggressions and clapback, and then started thinking about how many workplace options are here, like how many family stuff are here, how many like regular life stuff are, anyway, just so I could, we could see like where are the gaps, like where are we creating a lot of clapback and microaggression cards. It's from the deck of, I say microaggression cards, but it's from the deck of oppression, right? And so that could help us see sort of what was there, what was not there. But there's also a logistical part of it. And I think if anybody's making like a board or card game, this is helpful information, right?
Yeah.
No one actually told me this. I'm sure somebody has really good advice, but I just figured it out my own. If you look at a box like this, some companies have, like my game has 550 cards total. Some companies have 600 cards.
Yeah.
There's a reason why.
Why?
The manufacturers.
Okay.
So the manufacturer who I work with, like you ask them for their template, right? And the company that I work with is each sheet of the that they print out of cards, they print 55 sheets. So for me, it made a lot of sense to say my prompt cards, which is the deck of oppression, let's have 110 cards, so 2 sheets, and our clapback cards, let's do 440 cards, aka 4 sheets. It would be very stupid and costly of me to say, let's do 600 cards. So they're going to print 600, they're going to throw away. Anyway, it's going to be a waste. Whereas another company might actually print 60 cards per sheet, in which case I would have gone with 600 cards.
Right.
So I already knew my boundaries. I already knew I needed 110 of these and 440 of these, and that was my goal. So anyway, that's process. So we did the thing. We play tested among ourselves. We play tested with people, asked people for feedback. And in some cases, some people actually gave us examples of really good clapback lines, so that's sort of what happened. We would just play with people and they give us feedback, and we realized this is actually really funny, or that was not funny, or this is interesting, but we need to rephrase it.
Yeah.
And
for those of you watching, May has a video trailer commercial on her Shopify page, and I watched it, and it's funny. I like the characters, the personality, the attitudes, and just how like you capture the family gathering. Because when I play card games with my family, we do clapback, we do bits, we take a stab at each other. So I love that commercial captured this really well.
Thank you.
Want to talk on that? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I could talk about that, right? So, of course, when we launched the game, I was like, yeah, I need a commercial. And, I also I do comedy sketches and, short films and stuff. So I wrote it like I don't know, remember how long it was, a minute and a half. But I wrote like a sketch, right? And it was really great. It was like a all Asian American team, because we, our mission is that we make card and board games that elevate Asian Americans from sidekicks to heroes so they can power up on the tabletop and in real life. And so that shows up in every part of the process. Like, obviously, I'm Asian American. Falk is Asian American. The person who did the art and design, Brendan Tran, is Asian American. Anyway, commercial team, also Asian American. But 3 months ago, I was hanging out with my friend who does marketing. She's been she works in corporate America, but she's been in, marketing for like the last 20 years. And she's like, that was a fun video, but it didn't teach me how to play the game. She's like, I think you need a video on just how to play the game. I'm like, oh, it wasn't clear. She's like, it was not clear. She's like, you need a very boring how-to video. I'm like, thank you for telling me that. That was something that I wasn't aware of,
to come on that, I agree. But I think what you had there on that website, Shopify, I think that's what's needed. Just an intro on the fun and energy that clapback brings. and then do a separate video
Yeah,
of
yeah,
how to
yeah.
play. So
Yeah, that's a YouTube video.
right, there's a YouTube video. That's like if you want to learn the game, go watch it. But
Yeah, yeah.
otherwise, what you did that short video captured it so well.
Yeah.
But if you were to opt it for like how to, I think it might have like been a bit too long to get to. But
Yeah.
I liked it. But I
Yeah.
do agree, a how to is always nice. But before we dive more into Mayhem Games, I want to talk a little bit more about your entrepreneurship, because I think that's something where in our Hmong community, or even as artists ourselves, right, we don't talk about enough. Meaning, I myself, and also I think the term is called serial creative entrepreneur,
Yeah.
where like we do multiple things, and sometimes within those multiple things, I start to kind of like lose my identity of what I am, and you do a lot.
Yeah.
So how did you come to do those different adventures, but still be a playwright and an actor?
Yeah, I don't think that you know, when I tell people that I play in different spaces, like I started off wanting to write fiction, and then ended up writing plays because there was a program for BIPOC folks, and I just kept writing plays, and there were people who supported me. I ended up writing poems because I had an idea, I couldn't figure out, it didn't work as prose, it didn't work as a play, it was a poem. Anyway, so I kept writing all these new things, and it's not because I'm a jack of all trades, 'cause I'm definitely not. But it was because different ideas needed a different form, right? And so then I was like, okay, then let's figure out the right shape for this. And so, again, as great as our clapback workshops are, we're not always physically available, and people are not physically available to be at the workshops, right? So this takes its place. So anyway, every time I do a new venture, it's not, it's an extension of extension of something else. Like people who know me really well are like, this is great, I get it. People who don't know me so well are like, this feels like a pivot. I'm like, it's actually not a pivot at all, because I've spent my whole life in the arts, actually arts in the nonprofit world, working for Asian American, Hmong, sometimes Hmong specific, but sometimes generally Asian American causes. I spend a lot of my work, like, a lot of my work is makes people feel seen, heard, healed, entertained. So this is just one version of that. Yeah.
May, as you're sharing that, you're doing a lot of things. You're doing something where you're naturally building what I call a personal brand.
Yeah.
Which we're gonna go a little deeper on that. But I want to share that if you're a creative watching this and you're like by yourself and you want to have like some income to kind of support your creativeness, just like you said, like you don't need to pivot anything. For example, me as a graphic designer, I knew that I couldn't just do logos and websites all day long. I want to also like start helping people. So I added like one-on-one sessions, and I eventually created courses to teach those people who I don't always have availability to. So what I'm hearing is that also in you is like you're just maximizing your artistic skills, but now into like a product, still being funny, still in the same realm, and consuming you differently, but it's also within your voice and
and there's this thing that also happens where I feel very fortunate to be in a place where people pitch ideas to me, or they trust me with ideas, right? They'll be like, I really love that thing, have you thought about doing this thing? Like, for example, I think the first show I did where people kind of were like, I started with building my brand, I guess, was a show called Confessions of a Lazy Hmong Woman. About myself,
that's great.
Yeah, and people were like, that was a fun play. I would love to bring my mom and my grandma, but they don't speak English because it's mostly in English, maybe like 3% Hmong. And so, have you thought about doing a Hmong version? And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I said, that's interesting. But then after a couple of people said it, I was like, let me go do something about that. There's something there. So I went and created a company, which I hadn't before. And I applied for grants, and I hired someone to translate my script into Hmong. And then instead of being in the show, because it was a 2-person show, I hired actors who could, because my Hmong was not that great. So I'm like, let me hire actors, people who can act and people who can speak Hmong, and to be in the play. And then I, as a producer, was like, I want to make sure it's accessible. So for people who don't know, who are new to theater, who are low income, who don't speak English. Anyway, so we offered free and reduced tickets. We offered free childcare, like you didn't even have to
That's cool.
reserving. You just show up. So sometimes my childcare people had kids to watch. Sometimes they didn't, but it didn't matter. It's about breaking down barriers. It was an amazing experience. But what I'm saying is that I could have just said no.
Yeah.
But I said yes, and it's the only show I've done that has been intergenerational. I'm like, somebody came, dropped off a kid upstairs, brought their mom and their teenager to go watch a show. That was pretty cool, right? But I didn't consider myself an entrepreneur because I grew up working in the arts and the nonprofit field.
Yeah.
And then eventually I started teaching in academia too. But my first official foray into the for-profit field was in 2023 when I received a Innovation Fellowship.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they would even say yes because my math sucks. I failed 3 math classes to graduate from get my BA. So I'm just, but that was my first official foray into the for-profit sector.
That's crazy because I think as artists, when we start a venture, we never assume or think that we're to become an entrepreneur. I think the more things you do that makes money, eventually you're going to be like, you should get an LLC just to protect yourself. And eventually we slowly step into that entrepreneur title, but really we never really thought we were. We're just an artist.
You're right. I was already an entrepreneur. I just didn't realize it.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I work at, I'm an artist. I work in nonprofits. But if I were to think about it, my business model was 1, apply for grants to produce works that create access for community. 2, hire myself out for workshops and, stuff like that. 3, I was a consultant for a lot of different people about making art or doing culturally, cultural-based programming. 4, people were hiring me to be a guest speaker or guest artist. That was my business model that I was not aware of.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like I fumbled on that as well too. Because when I wanted to get to speaking, I was like, let me just do one workshop, a public speaking workshop, and then a couple of students enjoyed it. Yeah. And the next campus was like, hey, Bert, we heard you're really good. Come teach our students, but can you also teach another workshop on communication? I'm like, okay. So I sit down, came with 2 workshops. 2 and a 3, 4, 5. Right. So even I didn't even know that I was an entrepreneur until that word became so famous. Because I think I started my speaking business like 2018. Yeah. Where entrepreneur, that word was thrown around, but not as prominent as it is now. Where entrepreneur is the new business owner as well too. Yeah. So I want to dive into personal branding. Or branding. But before we do that, I want to share an insight that I believe if you are building a business, if you don't know what kind of name to name your business, and you run a service space especially, the best way to build a brand is your name. Your name is the best branding investment ever. And you can always change that to something else later. Or it's just an extension of your name. For example, Mayhem Games and that Falk, right? Like if you invest all Mayhem Games, so if you're watching this, if you say your name as the brand, and let's say that, for example, I'm a designer, my brand is Bert Lee. And let's say that I eventually want to do real estate. Now I could just have like a subcategory of real estate under Bert Lee. So it could be called something like real estate with Bert Lee. Because in that way you can maximize your name to get more exposure. And you're still protected. That's still under an LLC as well too.
No, I mean, that's a really good thing because I do so many things. And I also want to venture into podcasts and YouTube land. And I will say that when I started Mayhem Games, people don't know what the heck that is. So a lot of the things I've been doing in the last 2 years is leveraging my own work as Mei Li Yang, an artist, and Falk to help push it along, right? And so, maybe I'll go and trademark Mei Li Yang and Company or something. I don't know.
So then, looking at the application that you had, we talked about that one of the problems or the challenges that you have is how to communicate your voice with Mayhem Games, as well as how do you now push that onto social media? Because as you know, I took a look at your presence, which we looked at it in a bit too. You have a really great presence with Falk, and your personal presence is really good. And then when it comes to Mayhem, I feel like it's missing that attitude. So I feel like it's so different from what you have. So let's talk about that challenge that you're facing. Because you've been doing it for a while now. What are some faces aside from that one?
Yeah, no, you're completely right, because I think that, my personal brand as an artist, I'm just like, it's just me. Like, it's like TMI. It's like, I'm hanging out with my nieces and nephews. And then also, here's a gig I'm doing to whatever, right? And I think that the personal and the professional blend in my mainly an artist universe, because I think my community likes that kind of, just I don't know. Likes that intimacy. And I also like that intimacy. I
Yeah.
like that community. But when we came to Mayhem Games, right? I'm just like, what is the voice? I struggled with it because I'm like, is it a company where I pretend like I don't exist and it is its own thing? So I've like, do I post we as a company, or I, or is it just me? So I've been struggling with, especially social media. Like, how do you talk
Right.
about it through our social media platforms?
Right. So let's focus on you as Mei Lee
Yeah.
and then Mayhem.
Yeah.
So what do you want eventually? Do you want it to be the same, or do you feel like you want it to be separate, or is this where you're kind of confused of like you don't know where
I think it needs to be and this is probably a good thing for us to talk through, right? Right now, in this present moment, Mayhem Games and Mei Lee are really connected. In the future, when I have other games down the pipeline, it doesn't have to be me. I think I'm still gonna be a very powerful force behind the scene. As in, I'll probably be designing it,
Yeah.
or buying it from somebody, like producing someone else's work. But it's the company.
Yeah.
Right? It has a bigger mission beyond me.
Yeah.
It's I'm still gonna own it, but it has a bigger mission beyond
Yeah.
me. So it can't just be me. I know that very much. And there are gonna be games where I don't have that much of a personal connection, but I'm like, I want to be a champion for this game, right? But then, Mei as an artist, I think it's about it's about all those, like, being real, right? Being real, being present, being fun. I say that even though I don't really always listen that way. But I've been thinking a lot about the Mayhem Games voice, and I've been thinking that what is missing is actually the thing to put main character vibes. I think it's too boring.
Okay.
Because our mission statement is that we elevate Asian Americans from sidekicks to heroes, so they can power up. So I'll stop there. But, part of my work as a artist, but also as a human being, is I'm 47. And when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, Asian Americans, and even early 2000s, Asian Americans were not really present. Or if we showed up, we were always the sidekick, or the bad guy, or the sex everything, sex worker, sex slave, sex whatever, the romantic partner. We were never the main character, and so for me, it was really important as an artist to also center us. And I think that when people look at my game, it's Clap Back, the Asian American edition.
Yeah.
And some people pushed back originally. They said, "What about just anybody, the broad edition, and then you can pivot to Asian American?" And I was like, actually, to live out the values of the company, I need to kick it off with the Asian American edition. And so I think that the social media, the voice needs to have main character vibes.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. That's the conclusion I've come to in the last 30 days.
Yeah. I'm going to share this quick insight as I'm listening, and I'm going to show up your current website and whatnot. Is that it's very difficult to see, because you have this baby here.
Yeah.
Does it have its own voice and you help it? Or does it kind of sound like you? My advice is to always make it sound like you, because I believe
always make it sound like you.
Yes, because I believe that any brand or any business you do is just an extension of who you are.
Yeah.
This does not just come from thin air.
Yeah.
You actually produced it in your head.
Yes.
So what I think could solve and bridge this connection is that give it the same value and beliefs that you have. Give it the same TMI, fun, being real.
Yeah.
Right. And then you can always say, you start, for example, like at Mayhem Games.
Yeah.
It's like, I value funny, friends, and money. And you can start to change this to, we value friends, money, and change, right?
Yeah.
So you can start change the I to the we because then you can slowly step away because now it's an extension of who you are. Because as I observe Mayhem, I invest in this because I like you
Yeah.
and you're funny.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting this to be funny.
Yeah.
So then it should just be the same voice. So that when you detach away from it, you know that you have set your team up for success.
Yeah.
Also, that when anybody who works with you, rather like they're the designer or they want to, you have like you grow to be like PR teams and sales managers, they want to work with this company because they're so badass.
Yeah.
And they're so nonchalant and real.
Yeah. Yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah. So keep it as real as possible to your own voice. I'm gonna pull your website and we're just gonna scroll through that
let's do
and
that.
see what we have. Okay.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Taste of World Liquors. And you're someone like me who likes to drink on a Friday, this is your spot, okay? They're a locally owned liquor store with a wide selection of beer, wine, and spirits from around the world. So there's always something new to try. So the next time you're looking to pick up your favorite drink or explore something new, stop by Taste of World Liquors. You'll find a great selection while also supporting a small local business. They are located in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now, let's get back to the show. Okay. So, as we go through your landing page here or from Shopify, can you go ahead and read your mission? Because I love it. I think it's so unique and interesting. So, you want me to zoom in? You want to go ahead and read it aloud again for our viewers?
So, at Mayhem Games, our mission is okay. I'll read it. Mayhem Games makes card and board games that elevate Asian Americans from sidekicks to heroes, so they can power up on the tabletop and in real life.
How long did it take you to come with this mission?
I played around with it for maybe 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I like it. And for those of you who are watching, this is the commercial I'm talking about. Go watch it. It's hilarious. And it's very funny. So, and let's go through a couple things, May, as I, scroll down your landing page and when we talk about voice and personal branding. Because again, you're very authentic, you're very real. And when I watch this video, it has a lot of life and energy in it. But then it doesn't, like you mentioned, it doesn't really reflect that on the page or the messaging. I think the only part that reflects on it is the mission and then a little bit on the vision and values. But again, we're like kind of missing that.
Yeah.
So if we go to your Instagram as well, it has a lot of personality, right?
Oh, okay.
So this is Mayhem Games. Do you have one for yourself personally? Or are you all
I have a Mei Liang.
Okay, sounds good. How often are you like cross posting from Mei Li to this?
I've started cross posting more recently.
Okay.
I think it says 66 posts. I probably
Yep.
have cross posted like at least 50% of that time.
Okay.
At least.
Okay. Because I think that it's always good to have an image to Mayhem Games. I love seeing like you being here with people buying your product.
Yeah.
And I want to see more of that, right?
Yeah.
Which you do. I also want to see like because you do here like more of the cards.
Yeah.
I think if you do posts, I'm just like showing the cards because you have really interesting copywriting onto the cards.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to go back to the landing page here. What do you think is missing as far as messaging here?
I think fun, right? He looks really serious, right? And to be fair, the person I worked with on branding originally was like, this is the base, and you can add all of these things to make it more cool, right?
Yeah.
I didn't add all those things because I don't have the skills to do it.
Yeah.
So I think it's about maybe going back to have somebody work on the website and add those fun elements to it, right?
Yeah.
The quirky elements, because this is just the base.
Mm-hmm.
So I think fun and quirky show up. But even as we're looking at the commercial, I'm like, I think what is it, that thumbnail or something? Because it's just black, right? So having the, I don't know, having instead of just the black screen. I mean, it's not there, but like, but actually having an image there. Right?
Got it. Instead of just a black screen. Yes, I hear.
I wonder if maybe even posting examples of like quotes from people or images of people, because people do this really regularly, right? They'll, text me or message me and tell me a little bit about their experience, right? Like even 2 days ago, somebody messaged my inbox to say they had purchased 3 boxes of my game, asked if we could do an expansion pack for adoptees, and that they had actually one of the boxes they bought, they left it at a coffee shop bakery in Seoul, South Korea,
Mm-hmm.
because they knew that a lot of Korean Americans go through there. It's a great story. And I'm
Mhm.
like, they didn't send me a photo, but I'm like posting about ways in which people kind of experience that. Or somebody had had texted me and said, she uses, I think she has 9 cards that she keeps in her back pocket to clap back at coworkers.
Mm,
Great stories.
that's funny.
Right? And every time I tell the story, I always tell people, where the heck does she work? Right? But having some of that, like, people's
Testimonials on
yeah,
here.
yeah,
It's
on
good.
here.
I also know that you have it on Shopify. So I actually don't know how robust Shopify
Yeah.
you can like customize a landing page, because I know
Yeah.
it's more like e-commerce.
Yeah.
But before we dive into that, I want to talk a little bit about just this, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
let's
please.
talk through your messaging and improve
Mhm.
this a little bit here.
Yep.
So for Mayhem Games,
Mhm.
is it strictly just clapback, or it's Mayhem Games that does clapback in, let's say, another board game? Like
There's
it's
gonna be more games
more
down.
games.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is just the first.
Okay.
Mhm.
So as I read through this as a consumer, I still don't know what Mayhem Game is.
Mhm.
I almost feel like clapback is all that you do.
Yeah.
So when you see a landing page, we want to know exactly what is it that you do right away.
Mhm.
So the first sentence I have here is Mayhem Game makes card and board games that elevate Asian Americans.
Mhm.
That is really good. But I think when it comes to branding, there's like 6
Mhm.
steps that I like to do. There's
Yeah.
the service, the target audience, the problem, your
Mhm.
purpose, and your brand personality, and then the offer, right?
Mhm.
So to shorten this right away, what we should see up here is I'm just gonna pull up this board here, right?
Yeah.
If we say something like this, I'm just gonna bring this over. So boom, right when we see
Yeah.
go to landing page, we see this.
Yeah.
Maybe it's as simple as the elevate, because Mayhem Games is mainly just focused on Asian Americans, correct? Or
Mhm.
is it anybody else too?
I mean, sometimes we do collaborate. Sorry, it doesn't exist yet. They exist. People
Yeah.
just don't know it.
Right.
Collaborations with other folks, particularly BIPOC folks, but
Yes.
it's Asian American centered, but options to collaborate.
Got it. Okay.
Mhm.
So if we do it this way, let's go down this road a little bit
Mhm.
and see where this takes us. Okay.
Yeah.
So if we just kind of remove Mayhem Game makes card and board games. That
And when I think about the games that I imagine down the pipeline, most of them actually do use humor as a vehicle.
Mhm.
But the one that is not on brand with that is
Mhm.
actually the Hmong refugee game. Is not. I don't think it's funny at all. I hope not. I mean, that'll be interesting. People find it funny.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because I think I told a nephew and he. Oh, sorry. He doesn't. He thinks our trauma is funny. So
Okay.
whatever. Anyway, but point is, I think a lot of the games that are down the line are really, probably could fall under the bucket of funny,
Mhm.
right? But I do know that that's for sure the one that would not fall under that bucket. So.
Got it. So as you're sharing that too, so I kind of rewrote how we approach
Mhm.
again messaging. The way I think about branding is
Yeah.
consumers. We want to get it right away.
Yeah.
But then how do you also maximize and expand your brand to
Yeah,
partner
yeah.
up with stuff?
Yeah.
So what if we say something like Mayhem Games makes card and board games that elevates players from sidekicks to heroes so they can power up on the tabletop and in real life. Because if I see that, I get it right away what Mayhem Games represent.
Yeah.
And then because you do multiple products, like you're gonna have this, you're gonna have a board game, you're gonna have, let's say, playing cards.
Yeah.
Then you can have clapback, elevate Asian Americans from sidekicks to heroes so they can power up. And then the next thing will be a board game. So that way, when you tell people you're not secluding yourself to Asian Americans, but your game surrounds that. Just because you don't say it in here does not mean you don't support Asian Americans.
Right,
When it comes to branding, I believe that you don't need to and you shouldn't say everything in there.
Yeah.
You want to create curiosity and generate a conversation.
Yeah.
And then you let your website, the verbiage, speak on the Asian Americans. You let it speak on about that. Thoughts on that?
No, I get it. Like even because I think about this game that we're in the process of like making at the moment. And it started because a colleague of mine who is Black was like, have you thought about making no, he didn't say have. He said, you should make a drinking game for BIPOC folks. And so it's what I did. And that's not Asian Americans, right?
Yeah.
And it's not overtly about BIPOC folks, but it is for sure. You know, so it expands the thing that you're pitching, expands those possibilities a bit more.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to do this exercise with you too. Let's give me 5 words that describes yes, screen recorder is on. Double checking. Yes, it is. Give me 5 words that describes Mayhem Games. Not Clapback, but Mayhem Games, the overall brand. 5 words that you feel like represents it. And be as real and raw as you think.
Yeah. Mayhem Games. I think for sure fun, healing, community.
Okay.
All these sound so cheesy, even though
keep going. I'll talk about those in a bit.
Unapologetic.
Unapologetic. Okay.
And I'm trying to think of I'll just say main character. I don't know. I kept saying that, but
I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So I like these 5, but I want to go a little bit deeper.
Yes, let's do that.
So let's just say you're just, you're with friends, you were Shane. Like, how would you boast Mayhem? Would it be like, man, we curse a lot, or we are not afraid to, talk shit,
Yeah,
or we're not afraid to do that? What are some raw words? Go deeper in that way. Imagine we're just in a room, you're just bantering friends. How would you describe Mayhem Games?
Mayhem Games. Oh, that's a really good question. I don't know. Mayhem Games helps you laugh when life is hard. Mayhem Games.
Let me rephrase it this way. Because as you share your story, right? I sense that you're like, you don't hold back. Like like you're pretty open minded.
Yeah, I am.
So I'm thinking, from my observation, I'm hearing words like TMI.
Yeah.
Or things like speaking the truth, or saying the truths. Because I did see one of your Instagram posts about that. I think she was a actress. No, not actress. She was that Vietnamese girl where she did the chink eye.
Oh yeah.
Pull it real quick so the audience sees it.
Yeah.
I agree. I laughed at it. This one is funny. Yeah, like this is crazy. Yeah. This is why no one wants to hang out with you. Stop drinking shots of hard liquor if you can't handle yourself.
Yeah.
That's funny. Right?
Yeah, thanks.
So I'm hearing like saying the truth, no holding back.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna do one more as after. Oh, let me have you, because going down this route, what other phrase or words would you describe Mayhem Games, or even yourself too? Let's start there.
Oh gosh, that's a good question. The word I'm thinking of is not very, very chill, but I was thinking multifaceted. There's multiple uses, right? And because we already talked about how I do so many different things, but even this game, Clapback, does multiple things. Some people, I know people who are not woke at all. They play on a Saturday night. They're like, it's so funny. And then some people are like, I'm going to use this for a DEI training. And then some people use it, like the woman who holds the 9 cards in her back pocket, uses it to empower herself. And then an organizer uses it to teach his Asian American organizers on the history of unpacking Asian American stereotypes. So already 4 or 5 different usages, right, for one game. All the things I hope for, and all the things I don't say, but I'm like, yeah, you're doing all the things. You know? So multiple uses. I don't know if there's a cooler way to put that, but like,
I think that's a good start for now.
Yeah.
Right. So as I'm seeing these 5, here's how I want you to kind of brand position Mayhem Games to best position your ongoing board games. Because earlier you said that you playwright and you write your sketches, even for the commercial one. I almost want to encourage you to do the same thing. Think of each product as your own character and give them a voice. Because in that way, their messaging shows through. For example, right? If I go through your website right now, And I'm just gonna quickly build it out here for you.
Yeah.
So if we were to say this is like the top of your landing page, like for
Yeah.
example, this hero here, we're gonna say this. Okay.
Yeah.
And then as we scroll, we're gonna say wait,
Mm.
we are the place where we don't give a because you are the main character.
Mm.
So I want your message to have more attitude.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we are the place where we don't give a
Mhm.
F because you are the main character.
Mhm.
And then right beneath that, it could be something where the clapback card games.
Yeah. I mean, as you're talking there, I'm just thinking about something like embracing all the ratchetness of life.
Yeah, I
through
like
fun,
that.
You know,
Yeah. And then so like say right.
because I have a master's degree now, but I also live in the East Side in Frogtown. So
Yep. Me
no
too, I used
offense
be
to
there.
anybody who lives there, but yes.
You said, was it unleash your what?
No. Let's see. What did I say? I
Unleash-
said Oh, geez, what did I say?
I think you said unleash.
Embracing all the ratchetness of life.
Yes.
Through fun or something.
The
like
ratchetness. I might even spell it wrong.
Yeah.
In life.
Yes.
To have more fun.
Through fun.
Oh, through fun.
Yeah, embracing all the ratchetness in life through fun.
Okay, nice. Right. Okay, that's not even a word. It didn't pull a dictionary.
That's probably why. Yeah.
But so the goal here is, May, I want you to have that attitude.
Mhm.
What I think that's what's missing is if you give the same personality to Mayhem Games,
Yeah.
like we are the place where we don't give a F
Mhm.
because you are the main character.
Yeah.
Check out Clapback Card Games, the Asian American edition.
Yeah.
This has its own verbiage. And right as we scroll below, right, as we keep scrolling, maybe we have another segment here like this.
Mhm.
And we say, that thing you said, we know you are partying this weekend. Embrace in all the ratchetness in life through fun.
Mhm.
Buy our clapback or buy our new board game.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
now you're speaking to the truth of the consumer.
Yeah.
Right? Because right now, as I read through this, what I like to call it are a lot of sparkly words,
Mhm.
and it sounds a little bit impressive and
Yeah.
professional.
Yeah.
Whereas this, for sure, I think this is gonna make people laugh, and
Yeah.
they're like, man,
Especially for a board game company.
right?
Yeah.
That's very different.
Yeah.
And these are like me and my family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pausing here. What are your thoughts on this?
No, I think it's great. No, thank you for, and those were things I was sensing because I'm like, I think all of those values that I have for the company
Mhm.
is totally still aligned.
Mhm.
But the customers don't necessarily need to know that.
Mhm. They don't even know that.
It shows up in my values, right?
Mhm.
And the reason why my company and my work exists. But yes, customers don't need to know all of that lingo. They just need to feel.
Yes,
They need to feel
it.
Yeah. They need to feel seen, included. They need to feel empowered,
Mhm.
all the things.
One thing that I want you to do too is I want you to create. I know you have values here,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like I'm gonna ask you this honest question.
Mhm.
Are these values yours, or where did these come from?
Actually, they are mine.
Okay.
And that's why I was going to bust out my laptop but I feel like this doesn't do it justice, right?
Okay.
Because when these feel like fancy words for people who are woke and stuff.
Right.
But actually, that's for me. It's not the truth. Let me break them down for you, right?
Okay.
Agency. When I think about agency, it's about having power, making decisions. Again, being that main character, right?
Okay.
That's what I really mean by agency.
Yep.
That we get to be the creators of our own stories, because especially as Hmong people, for so long, it was non-Hmong people who were appropriating our stories, using us as subjects. So it's very important for us to be like, we're the creators.
Mm-hmm.
Joy. We need to. A lot of times, people have invited folks like me and other BIPOC folks to spaces because there is something bad that has happened out in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to also really embrace the fun, the joy, and remember all of that kind of stuff, right? I think about multiple perspectives. As a company that makes Asian American board games, I'm very clear that we cannot represent all Asian Americans,
Mm-hmm.
even among people. And I'll tell you a story about my play Confessions of a Lazy Hmong Woman.
Mm-hmm.
When it came out in 2010, I had a lot of positive feedback, but this was the negative feedback. Some people were like, "Oh, you're making Hmong women look bad,"
Mm-hmm.
and and I always tell the story about this young white man. I was invited to his campus, and he came to me and he said he was so sad when he saw my flyers because Hmong people were so hardworking and I was making them look bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my cousin had to tell her hater friends that this was my story. I was not telling a Hmong women story. It was I'm the lazy Hmong woman, right? And so anyway, even with my point is, even in the Hmong universe, there's no central Hmong story. There are multiple stories.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to get to all of it, but
Yeah.
we acknowledge there are multiple stories.
Yeah.
Let's see, what was the
It was unconditional belonging.
unconditional belonging. And I think that's part of the reason why we say one day you won't have to fight. No one will have to fight to be seen, because Asian Americans, we have a long ass history in the United States of being told we're aliens, we're outsiders. Even recently, all the with Operation Metro Surge, again, automatically people thought we were, foreigners who needed to be kicked out. And I just wanted to create a place where Asians feel like, again, that they are the main character, that they belong here no matter who they are, whether you're Southeast Asian, a refugee, an adoptee, South Asian. All of these people have felt not a part of Asian America,
Mhm.
right? And then the last part is visibility. I think that the reason why Asians do not get shine as main characters on TV, in movies, at work, is because people don't know very much about us,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean,
Mhm.
the Asian American Foundation did a study last 2 years, and they were asking Americans across the United States, like, about Asians.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them don't know anything about us,
Yeah.
and the most prominent Asians they could think of is Bruce Lee, who's been dead for a
Yeah.
long time, and Jackie Chan, who's not even American.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's not about just being seen and having representation. It's about being intentionally present. Because there are a lot of games
Mm-hmm.
that have Asian images,
Mm-hmm.
because, our art is really cool, our culture looks cool,
Mm-hmm.
but they really don't care about our
Yeah.
community. They're not even Asian. Or there are Asian Americans who create board and card games,
Mm-hmm.
and I find them fun, but they don't overtly say they're here for community. So I want to be like, we're here,
Mm-hmm.
we're with community, we get it, we
Mm-hmm.
acknowledge you. Anyway, sorry, that's me going out there.
Yes.
But I'll just say these are not like fancy words I'm just
Right.
throwing out because I went to a diversity workshop.
Do
but
you think this mission is do you have your own personal mission for yourself?
I don't.
For
I
your own personal
should.
brand? Okay. So I almost kind of want to challenge you from this perspective
Yeah.
and explore it, right?
Yeah.
I think this mission, this is not this I think this shouldn't be your mission. This should be your service statement.
Mm.
What I mean by service statement is
Mhm.
what is it that you do?
Yeah.
You are providing board games that makes players go
Mhm.
from sidekicks to heroes.
Mhm.
That's what you're doing. That's a
Mhm.
service. And your mission is the impact, which we just shared with me.
Mhm.
That could be the mission, where it
Mhm.
doesn't focus on games. It doesn't focus on anything, but it focuses on lifting Asian American voices
Mhm.
through play and fun.
Mhm.
What does that mean? By
Mhm.
having board games, by having card games.
Mhm.
Because now that your mission kind of is like this big umbrella that
Mhm.
captures diaspora of voices through fun and
Yeah.
play. And that way you can now do so many things under fun and play.
Mhm.
You can have drinking games, card games.
Yeah.
And then now this becomes more of a service statement of it. What is it that exactly you do at Mayhem Games?
Mhm. Okay.
And then going back to these words,
Yeah.
I like the way you broke down each word.
Yeah.
And I want to give you this feedback is that
Yeah.
I think you should take a step back and say what you just said. Like
Yeah.
example here,
Mhm.
agency, you don't say agency, say
Mhm.
having power.
Yeah.
Joy, embrace fun.
Yeah.
And perspective is it's your story.
Mhm.
Right. And again, when it comes to branding, we don't have to say every single little thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You say enough to create curiosity.
Yeah.
If I'm scrolling down and I see values and it says having power, embrace fun, it's your story. I'm like, what does that mean? Or
Yeah.
like, keep scrolling, right?
Yeah.
Because the honest truth too is, man, if I was to look at this, I don't know what any of these mean.
Okay.
because I know these words, but they sound very high level to the average Joe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have to also see, are you talking to investors,
yeah.
Manufacturers, or are you talking to me
Mhm.
that I'm gonna play this game on Friday night? If
Yeah.
I am, I want to hear this instead.
Yeah.
Embrace fun, having power.
Yeah.
perspective, it's your
Yeah.
story.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that so
No,
far?
you're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah?
Because I understand that language, but not everybody who is part of my target audience will.
Mhm.
And even if they understand it, it's not going to sound fun.
Right. Because I know what I kind of took a stab at, like what you meant by agency in multiple perspective.
Yeah.
But we also never want to leave our clients guessing
Yeah.
what that means.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna write this down really quickly for you.
Yeah. Thank
Of
you.
this service statement. So that you know, and I want you to explore your mission. Your service statement is this. So basically your what is it that you do at Mayhem Games? Okay. And then now your new mission, which is just making this up, but you can polish this later, helping raise Asian American voices through fun and play. Okay. So that way, no matter what you do, if you create a new board game, is it raising American voices through fun and play? Or is it raising a certain BIPOC voice through fun and play?
Yeah.
Because at Mayhem Games, we create card and board games that elevates players from sidekicks to heroes so they can power up. Because we believe in raising American voices, or we believe in raising voices through fun and play.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the that you switched Asian Americans to players because it's also on theme with the idea of, you play board games, they're players, right? Just instead of people. But anyway, just appreciate the on theme language.
Yeah. So I'll send this sheet to you. Again, I think you should leverage more of these like truth saying. Say the truth, TMI, no holding back, wretchedness in life, embrace in all the wretchedness.
Yeah.
Like I want to see those verbiage on your landing page.
Yep.
Because that's what's gonna make it even stronger. So it's gonna entice people because it shows this whole personality.
Yeah.
And it's still part of who you are
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
I want to pause here to see if there's anything that you wanted to talk about, if there's any confusion or any other clarity that you want to explore.
I don't think so. I mean, I appreciate you breaking it down into the service statement versus the mission statement. So
Okay.
yeah.
One last thing is that I also want to quickly say, when you have your, like, if you make a list of like all the words that describes Mayhem Games, like these raw words, feel free to post those on Instagram. Because right now I see a lot of like experience and adventures.
Yeah.
I want to see more of the card games and then have more quotes or even more languages like this to kind of like this to really like when you screenplay, give this basically its own character and its own story behind it.
And can you talk more about that? Like when I screenplay?
So for example, like clap back. When I see this, it's yellow, it's bright, but it's funny and it's loud. So when you do like a post, make it like a 5-series post, and literally take pictures of this box, do a quote, and that says, "Embracing all your wretchedness, ready to play me this weekend." Give this its own voice. But still falling under this theme here as well.
I mean, that'd be fun because I mean, I just this week I was just at the Asian American Journalists Association conference, selling games, but also fangirling activists and all that kind of stuff. And definitely I took, people bought games or I gave games to people. I'm like, appreciate your work. And so that could be kind of funny, actually. I've been thinking about, well, there are these assets now. What do I do? It'd be really funny to actually have the game that is in Chef Ye Vang's hand saying, say something.
Right, exactly. Because you're so good, because, don't stray too far away.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just takes a step back and what you're really good at, which is screenplay and writing. And if you really wrote a dialogue for this person, like it could be right here, right now. And the text could be like, stop being lazy and just put your phone down and take a look at me because I have sexy words on me.
Yeah. Like yeah. Do that.
Was there anything else that we didn't get to cover?
I would be really interested, like in thinking about. I think one of the things that's hard for me with social media is on my personal social media. This is before, now everybody has a brand. Even regular people have a brand because they're trying to build something, right? And it looks really polished. And I think when I first joined Instagram and stuff, it's just, me. So it looks like it doesn't have it doesn't have a consistent look. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I care to do that anyway on my Insta,
Mhm.
but my personal Instagram. But for Mayhem Games' Instagram, do you think I need to have a consistent look and feel? So besides the vibe, okay, the fun TMI vibe, I get that. But I'm talking about
Visuals and stuff.
visuals, yeah,
I would
like a
say
frame or
good question. So I would say, when it comes to the voice, answer two part. When it comes to the voice, it's okay to make it sound like you, because
Yeah.
again, it's intentional who you are.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to the look, I would say pick a certain look. Maybe it's just maybe yellow and
Yeah.
blue,
Mhm.
and then try to keep those. When it's showing the product itself,
Mhm.
like for example, this one,
Yeah.
maybe the background could have been blue and this
Mhm.
could have been yellow. So anytime
Okay.
you're showing the product,
Mhm.
keep it the color the same, even if it's a different game.
Yeah.
Same color theme. But when it comes to stuff like this, then that's fine. So I think yes,
Yeah.
keep the color theme consistent,
Mhm.
but that's something where you're gonna have to explore what is Mayhem Games color.
Yeah.
And don't get too flashy. Just pick a color.
Yeah, we have a color palette
Cool,
already.
yeah.
But I think people outside of here don't know that. So I'm playing around with our color palette.
Mhm.
But in fact, I think what you're telling me is that clapback has to have its. When I'm talking about clapback, it needs to live in its own color palette. I mean, no. I mean, sorry, I'm just
Same
talking.
color palette. Yes.
Yes. Because Mayhem Games has a color palette. But the thing is, so for example, my business card is green, but that's because that's actually one of our colors.
Mhm.
But it's not one of the prominent colors, because when I've been promoting clapback, you see our logo in this sort of like orange red color
Yeah.
or black, maybe even white.
Mhm.
But people haven't seen the other accented color. So the green is actually an accented color, but
Right.
it hasn't shown up in our other branding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say keep Mayhem Games color all the same.
Yeah.
Even if this is yellow, the new game is red and blue. Keep it. Don't give this its own brand color.
Yeah.
Keep this as is, but put it under the Mayhem's color palette.
Yeah.
So don't give this its own color palette. Just keep it consistent to Mayhem's.
Yeah.
So that way it's all consistent. So that way this can breathe.
Yeah.
Because if you do give this its own color palette and its own branding, that's gonna be exhausting and a
Yeah.
lot of work. Unless it's like a super new special edition.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like you look at Walmart, it's all blue, but they had different kind of products.
Yeah.
You know that it's Walmart.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. May, where can people find you?
Yeah. For Mayhem Games, people can go check out our website and our Shopify store at www.mayhemgames.net.
Mm-hmm.
And if you follow us on social media on Facebook or Instagram, we are at Asian Mayhem Games.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there anything else that we didn't get to cover to make this conversation value to you?
No, this is really valuable already, Bert. Thank you
Okay.
so much for your work and for providing this opportunity to get a consultation. So appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you for being on the show. And thank you for bringing Clapback. Folks, if you're watching this, check it out. Go check out the commercial. It's fun. I promise you it's fun. Go take a stab at it. Play with it. Read the cards. It's hilarious and it's fun. Okay. So if you made it this far, comment what you're thinking and also what have you been working through your business. What are some branding messaging that you're kind of like confused on? We've been doing this for a while. Comment below and I'll see you in the next episode.